and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. This is your boy Dash, the Tru Inferno. And this is another Call of Duty Black Ops 3 commentary video, but we are doing something slightly different. I am giving you guys my top 10. Yes, another top 10 that I'm doing. Now, the last top 10 or top anything that I did was at the end of 2015 and going into the year 2016, this year obviously. So where I gave you a top 10 or a top whatever, then movies, music, and video games around that time. But this time we're gonna switch it up just a little bit. It's still gonna be about video games, but this time it's gonna focus towards E3. So I am going to give you my top 10 boldest predictions regarding this year's E3. So with that said, let's get straight into it. Number 10, new Battlefield. And obviously, last year's E3, EA did nothing regarding the shooters. No new Titanfall, no new Battlefield, no nothing regarding the shooter. Obviously, it focused more on that Star Wars Battlefront, but can you really call that a shooter? I mean, it got lasers in it. But I can't call that a shooter. So expect EA to get back in this year, especially since the last Battlefield that came out was Battlefield Hardline, and that came out March of last year, and it didn't do so. Like, it did okay when it first came out, but as the weeks and months went on, it was like just forgotten about. So yeah, expect EA to do something this year at E3. Although EA would not be at E3, EA would have their own thing going on prior to E3. So yeah, there you go with that. Number 9, the PlayStation 4.5. Now this one I just heard about recently. I just heard about a PlayStation 4.5. It could be the PlayStation 4 Slim or something like that. I don't know. But I'm hearing obviously with Nintendo coming out with the NX, or making an announcement about the NX soon, or whatever the case may be. Talking about something it's going to be powerful than the PlayStation 4. Obviously, Sony wants to fire back at that, and this could be the answer, the PlayStation 4.5. I don't know the specs or anything about it, but this is something that I just heard about, or read about rather. So this could make a splash at this year's E3. It should at least. Number 8, Horizon Zero Dawn get pushed back. Now, yeah, there got to be some bad news in my bold predictions, and this is the only bad news in my bold predictions right here, and that Horizon Zero Dawn is pushed back. Now, for those of you who forgot what this game is, this game was announced at last year's E3 during Sony's press conference. It's about this girl who looked like a cave girl or whatever, but she's going against some mechanical animals that are big as heck. And the gameplay, the atmosphere, the graphics, it was all out cold. And that when I saw it at E3, that was my first time hearing about the game. And I was like, yo, I need that in my life. But unfortunately, it's going to get pushed back. Now, it's supposed to come out sometime this year, but I think it's going to get pushed back. I haven't really heard much about it. So, yeah, there you go with that. Number 7, Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, this is one that I want to say a few people are asking for, but like, it have crossed people's minds for a number of years now. Will there be another Red Dead Redemption? Because the first one was successful. The first one was out cold. And the first one, unfortunately, came out how long ago? And then, of course, they had additions to, you know, like the Undead Nightmare and all that crap. But the first one came out May 18, 2010. And then they got that Undead Nightmare crap that came out, I think, like a year or two later. And then they had that Ultimate Edition, or where they had both those games in one. I don't know what all they did, but basically, we wanted the 2, or at least I wanted the 2. And I'm hearing more and more rumors, or more and more predictions, that there could be, well, actually both, that there could be a Red Dead Redemption 2. So, yeah, there you go with that. And hopefully they get more into that. So, yeah, there was the Undead Nightmare crap. And, yeah, there you go with that. So, they need to get to work on that Red Dead Redemption 2. I think it's going to be announced this year. Number 6. Elder Scrolls 6. Ironically, this game would be my number 6. But I said this at last year's E3. That was really my boldest prediction for last year's E3, that they were going to announce this game. Obviously, they didn't do it. This year, though, it's a prediction. It's a prediction. I wouldn't say it's a rumor, but it's a prediction that a lot of people are making that Elder Scrolls 6 will be a thing and will be announced at this year's E3. And I agree with that. So yeah, there you go with that. Number 5, Watch Dogs 2. Now I thought this was going to happen last year as well, so I guess you could say this was my second boldest prediction from last year's E3, but it didn't come through. But just like with Red Dead Redemption, I am hearing a lot of predictions and very, very, very few rumors regarding this one right here. But I think this one going to be revealed at this year's E3 as well. Ubisoft need to make another splash at E3 this year, and a bigger one than what they did last year's E3. And Watch Dogs 2 will be just that. Number 4, Nintendo NX. Now, this is one that some people thought was going to happen last year, but it didn't happen, and I was glad. Now, this one should happen this year, and this time I don't have a problem with it. Now, y'all probably wondering, okay, everybody and their mama thinks that Nintendo gonna reveal the NX, so why is this so high on your list? Well, it's not the fact that Nintendo revealing the NX this year made it number 4 on my list. It's the information that comes with it that makes this number 4 on my list. So what I'm predicting about the NX regarding, this year's E3 is the following. They're going to announce a release date. So I'm picturing either the fall of this year or the spring of next year. And based on my memory, new systems normally drop in the fall. So, and a lot of people been hearing about the NX for a while now. So if they're going to announce it this year, it makes no sense for them to have it come out not this coming fall 2016, but fall 2017. That makes no sense. If that was the case, they might wait for next year's E3 or do another Nintendo Direct event that I think they do those once a month or something like that. So, or at a bigger scale or something. So I'm thinking it's either going to come out this fall or next spring. So I'm talking spring of 2017. That's another possibility. Either way, we're going to get a release date at this year's E3 regarding the NX. Also, they're going to confirm that the NX will be powerful than the PlayStation 4. Does the whole PlayStation 4.5 thing. But yeah, that's what and that's another rumor that I've been hearing, that, the NX is going to be powerful than the PlayStation 4. I think that's going to be a reality. And also, and this is the most important one right here, the NX will be backwards compatible, because there's a lot of games coming out that aren't out yet. There's really one game that's coming out that isn't out yet, and nor does it have a release date, and that's the new Zelda game. Now, obviously it was announced 2 E3s ago, and they didn't say nothing about it last E3, so it got to come out for the Wii U. But because of the whole NX fiasco, I think it's going to come out on the Wii U, but can also be played on the NX. The same thing for Smash and so forth and whatnot, and also a possible Metroid. So yeah, there you go. And speaking of Metroid, number 3, Metroid game for the Wii U and or NX. That's number 3 on my list. Right after the NX reveal, bam, Metroid for the home. Not another 3DS Metroid crap like that Metroid Federation Force fiasco or whatever. No, an actual home system Metroid game. And I think that's going to be announced and playable either on the NX, on the Wii U, or both. Like I said, with the whole backwards it's backwards compatible, or they have a separate disc for the Wii U and a separate disc for the NX. I don't care, but I expecting that to be announced at this year's E3, and that is a really high bold prediction. Moving on though, number 2, Crossplay. And yeah, we heard about this a while back now, that Microsoft was going to do crossplay with PC gamers on Rocket League, and they want to do it with the PlayStation. But Sony, on the hand, I was like, right, we've been doing that with PC for a minute now. The Street Fighter V, for example. But Sony said they're welcome to it if they come to us. We won't be coming to them. They got to come to us. I believe Microsoft will come to them, and I don't know who's going to drop this bombshell first. Seeing how Microsoft normally have their press conference first between the two, I think Microsoft will get it out in the air, in the open rather. So yeah, there you go, cross-play between the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, and that will be sick. Now, before I get to my number one boldest prediction for this year E3, let me give y'all 2 honorable mentions, and there are only 2. And again, we starting from the least boldest to the highest boldest. The least boldest one is Final Fantasy 17 Remake, still under development. So yeah, this game was announced last year's E3. If you expect it to be, and knowing Square Enix how they take forever to come out with games, if you expect a release date like this year or even next year, you out your mind. So yeah, it's still going to be under development. I mean, that's how it is with Kingdom Hearts 3. I mean, that game been under development ever since it was officially announced for like, what, 3 years now? So yeah, expect Final Fantasy 7 remake rather to be still under development. Also, Titanfall 2. Now that one will also be announced at this year E3 by EA. And just like the rumors many years ago, whether they're rumors or facts or not, this one will be on the Xbox One and on the PS4. So yeah, that whole Xbox only crap, that's one of the reasons what made Titanfall a failure to begin with. That and the fact that there wasn't a lot of content on it. So yeah, those 2 reasons make Titanfall, the first one, a failure. The second one had to be on the PS4 as well in order for Titanfall to even stand a chance against the likes of Call of Duty and so forth and whatnot. Now, let's get to number 1. Kingdom Hearts 2.8 and 3 will have release dates. There you go right there. Like I said, going to my honorable mentions, Kingdom Hearts 3 has been under development for, what, like I said, 2 to 3 years. It's been a long time, man. So, yeah, there you go with that. But let me get to 2.8. Now, 2.8 is scheduled to come out sometime this year. We don't know when this year, but it's supposed to come out this year. We will get a release date for that. And I believe after it been under development for, again, 2 to 3 years at least, Kingdom Hearts 3 will get a release date. Or maybe not a specific one, but like an area one. Like, let's say, for example, April of 2017 or spring of 2017. Something like that. Something along those lines. We will get a timetable regarding when Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out. Now, 2.8, we will get a specific release date because we all know it's coming out 2016. We've seen the latest trailer / gameplay or whatever. But Kingdom Hearts 3, I still expecting a release date at this year's E3. So yeah, there you go. Those are my top 10 boldest predictions regarding this year's E3. And the game is obviously over, man. And don't forget, Resident Evil Epidemic comes out next Friday. So yeah, don't miss it. TrueInferno.bandcamp.com is the place to be to pick that joint up. Also, you can go to true-inferno.co.nr for more information on the album. I will be live streaming this Friday and ironically next Friday when the album drops. So yeah, man, y'all know who this is. This is the new Jay Gatsby, aka Genuine II, saying peace out, y'all, and see y'all next time. Yeah.